We truly don't know how anyone else feels, okay, except how we feel they are feeling, okay? You cannot place your truth upon another. You've tried that on your planet, in your species, and it's called trust, right? You've never learned to trust you. You've said it, but you never fathomed it as an existence employment, engagement. It's just been just for a decision or two, but it's not a daily wear. That becomes part of your knowing that you never speak the words, I trust myself, ever again. Most people don't trust themselves. They go, I don't trust me, because I might act in a behavioral way that would be up to the human standards. But so, no, just look at this for yourself, darling. When someone is in your reality, it doesn't mean they feel the same. It means that they are a vibrational match on a grand scale that you cannot measure, because truth is not measured. Truth is constant. It's never standard. It's in flux. The truth of co-created realities, attraction, we're speaking. Each individual, yes, this is I am, attracts, yes, this is I am as well. And within that degree of connectivity, there is experience, expression. And all is better for it because all is unconditional. So when Nancy gives the offering to the guy, sassy, when are you going to ask me out? Hey, numbnuts, I'm fucking want to have some time with you. Wake up. Because sometimes men are complete idiots. We've all seen that. They're like, oh, you like me. That kind of idea. So it doesn't mean he has to choose that reality. Now, if Nancy goes in with truth, it doesn't mean she gains the expected truth. It means that she is expressing her love, her passion, her self of I am. So if she would not have said that, then that moment would have been a different reality. Diminished in the idea of worthiness, but not diminished in the idea of unconditional. But you are playing the worthiness game so you can take notes about your interactions to see when you could have changed yourself for more trust upon you to play out your passions, if you will. And this was what people do to others. They trust others. And then when those people get bored of you, well, then they have to do them, because that is insatiable. When things go wrong in a relationship, it's because someone is not being a truth. The wrong is someone being a truth of image, not the truth of change. Let me explain. Okay. So I'm a person, I'm in love. Well, hell, let's use Roxanne. She was a complete slut. Okay. So in her ideas of her marriages, she's growing up and she has Roxanne inside of her. And she's one horny bitch, right? All she wants to do is fuck, right? So Roxanne wants to experience sex. Now, it is relative on the reasonality why she had such craving to explore that, because it was that of something in the household. Not abuse, sexual abuse, none of that nature, as she was growing up. But the passions of her femininity, to be sensual, coupled with the idea of a father who was a little fun with sex, talked about the guy thing at a younger age. Shit like that. Nothing obtuse, nothing wrong, just father-son ideas. Conversing about sexuality. Okay, so appetites come, passions resume, and then life becomes explored. Okay? So what happens? Roxy grows older, learns how to fuck, doing her things, and then she falls in love. She had oh God, proper. Here it was. That was funny. The human psyche wanted me to say flight attendant instead of stewardess. Well, fuck them. So she was dating Roxanne, Roy at the time. She was dating a stewardess. Best sex she's ever had. Because she didn't believe she could be dating someone so fucking hot because of worthiness. So when you don't give a shit, you're a monster in bed. But when you make it special, oh, here it comes. Here comes the relationship fuck ups. When you make it a dependency, well, then you start to contort because you are trusting them and they are placed the trust upon you. So you both have to act in accord with what created the relationship in time, and then you have to manufacture brick and mortar to sustain that institution as something relevant. Now, what happens over time? Well, you guys get bored. What are we? The constant of change. Humans aren't monogamous, my friends. In marriage, you can be, but sexuality, no. You are natural explorers. If you weren't, why do you have such extraordinary porn channels? The devil or natural? You decide. Next on McLaughlin. Okay, here we go. So Roxanne is in her first idea. Her first idea, marriage. She's had 3. So the first one, young. She's with this idea, flight attendant, stewardess. And Zoe comes along and she's dating a couple of people. And Zoe is Greek, family, everyone likes each other. It's the natural thing to do. So Roxy's in the army at this time. And then as soon as it happens, well, Zoe turned into a Greek mom and start controlling Roxanne. And she accepted that because she always played the feminine part. She played the bottom, if you will. So her life in that marriage was she works and gives, and then it repeated with the second marriage. She works and gives, and it repeated with the third marriage. She works and gives until the third marriage. She could no longer contort herself and became Roxanne. Okay. But in those ideas, she is having placed upon her boundaries and the natural explorer. So Roxy does what? Cheats, lies, because she cannot stop this. So if you are in a relationship, you have to be that brutal, honest, right? Now, here we're getting the vibrations, Sven. Listen up. Brutally honest person. That brutal honest that you are is an exploratory part to find you. See, everyone else thinks they're going to get judged for being themselves, so they don't. Hi, honey. Could you break a broomstick off of my ass, please? I would really like to feel that. Can't tell the wife that, right? Because there's a cherished institution that was built upon predicated ideas of love. And you trusted those, and you have to adhere to them like duct tape. And if you don't, you fail. You both are afraid to be yourselves. Now, not everybody, because there's extraordinary marriages. And extraordinary marriages, most of them are swingers, but there are some that are just have no desire to explore sexuality with another. Okay. Again, but we're talking on a bell curve of humanity and how you guys just destroy the institution of marriage, which is the exciting thing to do, I would say. But anyways, back to the point of trust. So as you are being honest, you might shuffle through a lot of people to discover you. But your dependencies, like Roxanne, knew as soon as she got someone to like her, because she was a big piece of worthless shit when she left the household at 18 years old. She had no confidence, no positivity ever given to her. She worked and got mediocrity in return, right? Because it wasn't to the standards of the lost gods that they called her parents. She could never maintain, so her life was that. And then when she became powerful, her own entity as Roy, to be this rockin' idea, this obtuse idea, this arrogant idea, she got attention. So she became a business person, brutal in the car business, and made all the money, but still not Roxanne. Image. So instead of being honest with all of her wives, she was measured to sustain the institution because she doesn't want to hurt someone. Oh, that would be, she hated hurting people. Hated hurting people. Hated it. So she would pain herself over that because that's how she was accepted. It's not heroship. It's fucking idiocy. She would actually contort herself into a painful existence so others may not have pain. And she's expecting someone to give her gratitude for that. Well, they don't, because that's vibration, it's lack, right? You all know that. Okay, back to the idea. So when this relationship starts to occur and the standards are put into place, but each individual is a God that is exploring the exchange of creation in the constant flux that it is, how the hell can you stay the same and be happy? The commonality of unified lovers, the unconditional lovers, explore together with no dependencies. So one just may get up and says, I'm going to go climb Everest. Don't know if I'll be back in the next 2 years. Okay, love you. See you later. Doesn't matter, because that's unconditional. Everything else is dependency. Not 1 ounce of saying your ideas other than allowing is unconditional. Not 1 ounce. All of it's unconditional until you thwart it. You with that thing. Remember what that thing was? I trusted you, and now you're betraying me. Because each trusts another within the realms of how it started, holding on to time being this idea. So here's where we're going with the vibration now. So as you are going through these men or women or men, whatever it is, you guys are finally starting to explore your sexuality without causality. So anyways, you're exploring your own self, right? And it feels fantastic to have sex, right? And you're allowed to have it instead of the guilty. The guilties are mainly older generations, but as they die, the younger generations are doing sex and using sex as an experience instead of, oh, sanctity, I'm not going to say all that. No, I'm just going to go and have a Coke, or I'm going to go get laid. They're the same. They're both experience, right? Okay. So there you go. So in this idea of going through these men or women to discover your truth vibrates a very, very particular tone of another matched tone that exists in your reality. One to be created. Okay? Okay. So they match, and this person is open to you to explore. And then you just discover each other. But everyone looks for, their savior, they're this, and then if you did it for those reasons, later on you're like, oh, fuck, why the fuck am I in this marriage? I'm not happy. I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm bored of them. Whatever, the sex sucks. Because you're not being honest, so you live a life of shittiness. Well, welcome to you. Because it doesn't mean anything. It's not a cause or effect. You guys know that all of this now, right? Is what? Fucking choice. Huh. Imagine that. So now, Nancy got the gumption up to say, hey, hello, Einstein. She used sassy. She used her truth. It scared her. It was something of going beyond her norm. It was brave. She did it. To offer her truth. Now, whether numbnuts wakes up to it or not doesn't matter. Because if Nancy's not expecting and she values her own worthiness on the result of another's action, then she's fucked. But if she doesn't, if she's her own sovereign being, true to I am, this is what it is with no expectancy. Although she might be disappointed and hurt for a little bit, but she understands that's a belief system of the polarized mind. She now understands that she can do that. And then there's another opportunity attracted. What? All of a sudden you're going to run out of men on the planet? You're going to run out of opportunity? You've never run out of opportunity because there's nobody here. What do? You create them in the moment. No. They're not standards. There's no amount of people. It's the ones that you attract vibrational that create a world, that give you an experience. But you want the right lover, then you got to start loving yourself. And loving yourself is exactly what Nancy did. Hey, when are you going to ask me out? Duh. Right? To get him to understand that she's interested. And if he's not, fuck him. Because there's another. But what is the key here is that she exuded her truth. Now, let's look at potential. They get together and Nancy starts to change her because this guy comes in and he needs his dependency. So he turns Nancy into a dependency and everything is fluff and stuff for a while, but then all of a sudden the honeymoon's over. And then life kicks in and all the bills and all the worries and all the things just come in. And then all of a sudden you're back to life and the marriage grows dull, right? Because you guys are dependencies to each other, not explorers. Everything is relationship to reality. Okay? So you got to trust it. Just because someone's there doesn't mean they're going to be your polarized match. That means they're in a vibrational world that is beyond your contemplated measure on how the fuck they got here. And your interaction is depending on you, not them. Your choices, your expression, and the way you perceive reality. So let's understand how relationships work. They don't work as a standard. There's no meaning to anyone there except one thing. They're your vibrational match. That's why they're created in your moment as what? An experience potential. No one measures why there's an orange in the HEB for you to buy. No one measures, say, oh, look, they got some new cherries in. No one measures the variety of cereal until something's not there. They don't say this is here because I get to eat cereal. Finally, it's always there. You always glaze over your frickin' idea of your standards, but when something comes of measurement that's going to be a saviorship, an idea, then you attach to it with meaning and purpose, and then you place your trust on it and you box it up and you ask them to perform like a monkey on a grinder. So you may be happy at the expense of someone else's vibration. So let's know how that works. Okay? If you're not in love, and if you are in love with a particular human, you really want to see where it can go? Start being honest. If you know you're bullshitting yourself, start being honest. If you're on the honest track and everything is awesome, I don't care. This is all relative. But it's not polarized because, again, as the idea was spoken last night, polarity to go beyond polarity, to go beyond that, polarity can't be used. You can't use what you are to go beyond it. You have to use what is not available to you. Where is it at? In the now. That's the honest explorer. That's the idea of the self. So let's bring that in. Now, part two. Hang on. Let me get a little coffee. Roxy bought coffee today. She bought a French press. Thank you, Tammy and Rosanna. Some donations. So she got herself a little French press. She was actually quite proud. She didn't go clothes shopping today. She's like, you know what? I'm done. I don't need that. But she does want to get a new shirt because she's 2 months cycled on her shirts of current, and she's a little weird about that. But that's her weirdness, isn't it? She's weird, isn't she? Okay. Part deux. Part deux. Isn't that weird? D-E-U-X, do. Part deux. Falling in love with you. Once again, the most obvious thing for you guys to see is that self-love is criticized. You place the word on it and it's called selfish. And you're selfish, you're looking at someone who is degrading because you are not the first teachings on this planet. What were the first teachings? And we're talking before you're Christ conscious and all your fucking fathomable ideas of what creation is. It's still the same first teaching that's continued as a thread through all the collapsed timelines, is that you have to love another. That's what gives you your worthiness. So of course you guys are dependent. Duh. Right? Because you were taught, and this is embedded in your DNA, it was taught to you all that you must love another in order to be valued. Right? Not one book ever mentions love thyself. It would be considered obtuse. Love another is always first. Always that action, and then you can love yourself. Always got to be coupled with something. There's always got to be an attachment to loving you. You just can't have the words, love yourself. Fall in love with you. And I'm not talking that horse shit that your planet's trying to do for the last, probably since about the 80s. You know what the horse shit is? Affirmations. Positive feedback. See, you are masters, and I want to express something to you. Masters understand that polarity, the entire world of polarity, is that of needing to be shed. But your do-gooders and your idealists work within the scale of polarity. So all everyone's trying to do on the planet of asleep is to move everyone to the right side, the teeter-totter. Left to you, whatever, is bad, good. So we have to start giving positive reinforcement. Hmm? Affirmations. Things that give people value. But here's the trick. You remember when you start graduating kids in kindergarten, start giving them diplomas? There's no more F's. Not that F's is a good or bad thing. I'm not talking about the polarized idea of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the vibration behind it. So pay attention and be sharp with this. I don't give a shit if you give them A's or F. That's not the point. The point is that you took away F's so you could be polarized in the A's manner, or no report cards at all, right? Whatever it is. And then you give them graduation. See, what you're giving them, humanity, is image. So you're not giving them worthiness. You're giving them image. Another reason to be expected of the world that's going to come to them. Anyone you've been disappointed when you left the house? The world isn't, like they said, just like mom and dad said, the world's not what you think it is. You're right, it's not. Because I think the world is what you think the world is. But I was never taught to know the world as I know the world. And the world is not what I want it to be because I thought it was supposed to be this. Because that's what I was taught. So if I'm taught positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement is an influence in my life all of a sudden out of the blue, then I don't know how to deal with that except painfully. Because that's how I can relate to a negative idea. Right? So you don't want to give people positive reinforcements. You don't want to send them good vibes because there's no good or bad vibes unless you are polarized. And then they can have that world, right? They can, oh, yeah, oh, ow, yeah, oh, fucking body weight, oh, humans, oh, what is wrong with you? You guys are extraordinary. Don't you feel the pain of your body? Oh, God, it's so heavy. Roxy needed water. So these positive reinforcements, right? The positive images. Okay? And I want you to relate now with some truth with all of you explorers together. And this is rhetorical, so answer it within, okay? How can you give someone their worthiness without giving them image? See, because if you think about it, you're going to give them image. But if you are in the moment, you can give them worthiness. See, again, you can use a set of words. You can use the exact same set of words. But if your relationship to those expressions are different, then their vibration relatable is different. If you give positive reinforcement and then you give value, worthiness, then the vibration is given different, right? Still up to the eye of the beholder to translate that truth. Doesn't matter, but you are a frequency of differentiation. You all had conversations, and you knew one was absolutely plastic, and the other one got your attention. See, there's the difference, and you can use the same exact words in either speech, right? So this is not a syllabus to learn on how to raise your young. It's a moment idea of representation of own worthiness that allows other to explore their worthiness. Everyone thinks it's the good things that we're all after. I'm not after good because I can't see bad. I'm not after anything because I am. And now you are becoming more I am now than any other time. Hmm? So this loving self allows you to speak up, allows you to say no, allows you to take a chance, allows you to be disgusted, allows you the absolute pain of failure and the absolute joy of success. This worthiness is not worthy of self-identification. It's worthy of experience, no matter what the experience is. Stop tainting your fucking reality with your goddamn mind, and you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you guys are still, your mind, letting it run you like a puppet, well, then you are just going to have the same exact reality with different decorations, but you're going to feel and attract the same consequential vibration of time, the one that you always call a consequence. This happened to me again. What does this keep doing to me? What the fuck are you talking about? Because what you put out is what you get back, right? All right, masters, very good. So to explore this worthiness, it is not, once again, a goal. It's not how. It's not a process. It's now. It is what you are in truth every moment. And if you don't bring that up to the top side from the bellowings, internal bellowings of your own furnace, you don't let that fire out, well, that's on you. And if you want to tag or target or blame or cause, you can do that. See? Because that is unique to you. That's the truth and experience that you are choosing for you. Now, you can get other humans to go, oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That wasn't your fault. It was my fault. I'm sorry. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. You can get other people's to be puppets for you. And a lot of you love that. You just think you're this goddamn goddess or god that expects people to do something when you don't even know your ability as a god. But what you know yourself as is a failure. Because when you expect, you must understand the opposing side of success. Because that's polarity. You're not going to stay on one side. It's impossible. Because the ego doesn't validate one portion of itself. The ego validates the whole fucking self. And the whole self isn't couched as in personality of egoic structures. That egoic is a personality of polarity structures. So it explores itself within its realm. That's why things get too good. You inherently fuck them up. God, I shouldn't have said that. I got fired because I spoke up. I shouldn't have done that. Spoke up because you were the truth, but you took it as something different. Right? So the worthiness. Okay. Now we understand it takes a long time to bring it back, but we're not going to cuddle you because you don't need a banky and a binky. What you need is to be your truth. So we get it through your penetrating filters and tell you to get it on. Start being, start choosing, start living, start loving you. Others will come and you love. Roxy loves herself. That's how she gets Tommy. Tommy is a match, a frequency match. Allows her to express her rage, get it out. She allows him to express his rage, get it out. She gets her hopes and dreams. He gets his hopes and dreams, and they work together to understand their own lack together. So they may understand it within themselves because they have a sounding board that is unconditional because they love themselves. They're not dependencies. Make sense? So you got to keep falling in love with you. And before, in the classes of past, we talked about when you have the money, spend it. You feel like buying. Yeah, you all know those tempos. But now this is the idea of vibration. We need to dig into feeling. When you have a polarity experience, and that polarity experience is fear, and it is very painful. It is disappointment. It is the mind going, la, 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 and you stop and say, I am worthy of this experience. I get to feel this fucking depth of my own atrocities. And you endure it. Now that is a new story. It doesn't attract polarity because you're worthy. So you're not going to get more polarity. You're going to get more worthy. That goes beyond polarity. Right? But if you're using the distractions of standards, time-based realities of what it is, you guys have a billion books on how to handle relationships, and it's always how to handle the other, to know about the opposite. No one says no to you. To be brutally honest. That's it. Understand your relationship with these things is the relationship with yourself. And if the relationship is taking place in objectified, not only what you call physical objects, like a dependency on a person or an alcohol, but a dependency on an emotion, depression, because it gives you image. That's where you got to be honest with the self to accept these things about you. Everyone wants to fix you guys. What the fuck is wrong with you? You have more medicines and more prescriptions running around, and you guys can't even imagine the fucking pharmacy that's inside of your body. The endocrine system, stop. It's got more chemicals going through your body as your nature to change the emotional content, to give you strength, to make you feel absolutely worthless, like you want to fucking stab your eyes out. That's all vibration telling this little system up here, here's how I feel. You get to feel that. You guys ever felt anxiety? When you spoke, huh? When you spoke your truth and you were so scared and you had butterflies, but you got it out there and you're like, holy shit, man, that was so fucking awesome. What, you think that's an emotion? That's an emotion interpreted by the body through the endocrine system. That says, whoa, they don't got a drug for that, do they? Because they can't figure that out. Only drugs fix what's wrong with you. In your drug-induced comas through your permission slips, the drugs, well, they just take away filters. What they do is give you permission. I keep turning, I know. They give you permission to be your truth. That's why you always have a good time, because you don't give a fuck. It's quite simple. But you're always trying to fix reality. Reality doesn't need to be fixed. You don't need to be fixed. You need to explore you. And you need to delve into the polarity sides of you that you truthed about, instead of processing as an engagement of expulsion of a portion of you that you abhor because it causes your feelings to be hurt. I love hurt. I can't get it any other way until I become Turtle on Planet. It's my nickname, Turtle. Right? Anyways, that was a great discussion. Anyone want to discuss something about this discussion? Let me know. Raise your hand, speak up, fart, I don't care. Water? Fantastic. Okay. Doesn't look like anyone's interested in that part. Brent, what's up, baby? Brent.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. I have yet to experience, like Nancy did, interacting with a guy from a place of self-love rather than hope and expectation. And I don't know
Well,
if I
yeah,
really,
because you don't know how.
yeah,
But we've given you how. Are you doing it?
no,
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to start choosing your worthiness. See, do you get nervous when you get around an idea?
yes,
And then what do? You start to act in the way that your mind says to act, correct? Yes or no?
yes,
Very good. Well, don't do that. You want a different reality, don't act what your mind is telling you. But you're too afraid, listen very closely, to fuck it up. So you use your logical mind that you are very friendly with, think it's the right thing to do, but yet you're still alone. Are you a virgin too?
no,
No?
no,
What?
no.
Okay. Are you okay not being a virgin?
I'm not yet okay with still being single.
Okay, I'm not talking single. I didn't say single. I no. Are you okay not being a virgin? I need to get to your
Yeah,
worthiness. You're not paying attention to me. You're paying
yes,
attention to your mind. Your mind, diarrhea. Me, awesome. So you're okay not being a virgin. Yes or no?
yes.
Are you sure? I'm asking you if it's dirty, Brent.
No,
Are you a dirty bird for having sex this way? Are you harboring guilt through gaydom? Are you a failure? It all ties in.
I might be.
A might. Ain't no might here, motherfucker. This is truth. Whether you want to choose it or not doesn't matter. So your worthiness of being the entire empirical idea of gay is part of your unworthiness expressed, which is lack, and so you're attracting a whole bunch of lacky people. You following?
Yes,
So I need you to be disappointed right now and say, I'm very disappointed because I know I'm never going to have a love. Perfect. Once you give up on a love, then you can start doing the real work. That's when you're going to start to explore, when you give up on trying to attach. Roxy, absolutely, after about a year of transitioning, knew that she's never going to be a passival unless she got surgery. 30 grand worth of surgery, facial feminizations, a couple tits, okay, maybe a butt lift down the road. And then maybe, right, she can get a man to love her as a woman, right? Okay. So the only thing she attracted, listen very closely now, was straight men that needed to investigate their gaydom. So they used the bridge of transgender. It's kind of like a woman, but hey, it's got the tool I'm looking for to explore that, Mr. Hoo-Ha, right?
yeah,
So it does. And that's all she attracted until she gave up. She was the blowjob queen. And I'm telling you, anyone out there listening, if you guys do same-sex bathrooms as law, all of your husbands are going to get an enormous amount of blowjobs if Roxy's within the perimeter of that same bathroom. I'm just letting you guys know. So you might not want to let your husband go into the bathroom when Roxy's present if you guys do that. Just to let you know, because she'll suck their dicks. Anyways, so if you look at, if you, Brent, look at your way without thinking on how to create these people to fall in love with you, then you can start looking in the now how to be as Nancy did. Are you following?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you truly following? First off, you have guilt about failing your parents. That you still haven't coalesced. So you got to be okay being a God choosing its own reality, even though it hurts. But when it hurts and you feel the guilt, you keep trying to escape from the guilt through affirmations. You can't escape through affirmations. You got to become the endurance of that pain and go, God, oh, this is extraordinarily painful. I mean, it really fucking hurts, because not do you get the emotional equation and interpretation through the mind, but you get the body enactment of the experience, because you got a chem station up here that'll fucking give you that feeling of absolute desolation. Never felt that way? Oh yeah, you should have, because you guys are absolute masters of truth, vibrational tacticians. Okay, I'm not done. So this worthiness must be engaged in the moment. But see, you always think your actions are going to have consequences, so you constantly change your actions to the best case scenario as it unfolds, and you end up going home alone. Sure, you get laid now and again. Anyone can get laid. It's humanity. All we like to do down here is fuck, right? Maybe some coffee, a little alcohol, cigarettes. But that's basically about it. Even binge watching is starting to lose its luster. You go to the standards, sex, escapism. So you got to look at that. That's easy. You want to be a master, you got to engage in the self-worthiness. You got to see what you are triggered about and what you fear and what your mind is saying. Oh, no, no, Brett, don't do this. Blah, 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 blah. You remember your little Power Ranger conference? You were set everything up in the perfect way you came. Blah, 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 blah. And Jennifer goes home with the Power Rangers. And now they're having a relationship. Because you know why? Jennifer wasn't interested in the Power Ranger idea. Jennifer was there to explore herself. That's attractive. But see, you, as the human, put out little ornaments of look what I am. I mean, if a Power Ranger walks into an audience and that audience admires them over and over again, after a while it's going to become burdensome, right? And then here you come along, I know everything about you. Great. Yay, thanks. Another one. Fucking shit. But here's this sparkling, dazzling light. Jennifer in a dress with the bosoms out to Alaska. And all of a sudden, she doesn't give a flying fuck about your power idea. And all of a sudden, she's attracted because there's something to be explored. Because she's inquisitive to herself to know that she can explore the reality that you have offered. You got to take the same approach. Don't make anything a meaning or a purpose. Stop. Why? Because it hasn't worked, my friend. But if you keep doing it, you're going to get the same realities. It's not that it's a payback. It's not karma that humanity hopes it's to be. It's because it's your truth. It's who you are as a worthiness idea to self-perception. So you have to enact a different reality each and every now that is truthful to you, and you got to shed all these little fucking truths, and all those truths, true, and all the ones that you thought were so true. Oh my God, it was so true. I got that. Yeah, now it's not true. Oh my God, I got to let go of it. I got to go. I'm nothing. I don't know who the fuck I am. Yes, fucking A, because you're not a who. You're a what? You're a creator, and it's an exorbitant ride, excruciating. Man. So if you want to understand your worthiness, Brent, you got to fall in love with you. You got to be okay with your choices. Do you know how many people Roxy failed in her life? She was one of the powerhouses in Vegas as a desk manager. She walked into a place, if she didn't get 110,000 a year, she wouldn't even bother. Right? That's fucking arrogant as shit. And then all of a sudden she's not that? Everyone's going, what the fuck happened there? Everyone's looking for reasons. Psycho, crazy, loony bin. Escape must have been cracked under the pressure. They're making all these things up because there's no more standard in their life as a dependency. Everyone panics. Put Roxy away. Put a human away from being their truth. That's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of them. Because they're not going to accept you. So if you, Brent, were in love with you, truly in love with you, you're going to notice something. That whatever comes at you is immeasurable now. So you can't see criticism. You just stop. You're like, oh, okay, see ya. You don't take it and accept it as a truth that gives you the emotional reflection of, oh God, I failed. Got to start being different to get different realities. Now, I don't know if your mind, because I'm not you, you have to be honest, is trying to take all of this information and turning it into another fucking process. Because it's not. It's now. I am my truth. How's that?
Yeah, no, that was great. And like they said last night, I see now that these are just selves that I'm choosing whether or not I'm going to engage in.
Right. And if the temptation is too great not to engage in the fear, then you engage in the fear. So fuck what? And now you've had that moment of, oh man, I was limited. Awesome. Now I don't have to be limited because now I know it's not my truth. Okay?
Okay, easy.
Anyone else? No? Yes, Daniel?
No. So yeah, yeah, I've been like connecting to like my music and my heart and stuff, and it's been pretty awesome. And it's crazy how like, yeah, I've just been doing that. Period.
Changing.
It's good stuff.
Not really your heart, though. It's
Yeah.
a term.
Okay.
It's yourself.
Yeah.
See, everyone thinks creation to be that of a creator has a measurement of standards to attain. The ones that didn't pay attention to the humanity's diet of standards were the exemplary ones that are in your history books. Beethoven, Van Goghs, Teslas, right? Because they didn't conform. Ed Whistle from The Who, one of the most exceptional bassists in the world. He didn't follow the fucking rules. He let himself become the moment creator. That's why your music is getting better. See, you, as a growing up, thought that everyone needed this or what people needed. Everyone is always trying to get them to approve this. And here's what you need, my medicine. No, they don't. They don't need dick from you. You need you to be you. You fall in love with you and you become this new explorer that you are discovering with your music. It improves without Juilliard. It becomes beyond. Juilliard's become a standard for humanity. That's why you don't have any fucking Beethovens on your planet. You got a few good ones right now, but you don't have the work as Mozart out there. Chopin is nowhere to be had because everyone's striving for a standard of time. Yet you have a little Indian boy who takes a simple math book and extrapolates formulas that change the entire mathematical world because he didn't pay attention to his fucking teacher. He paid attention to this. That's what you're doing. And it's exceptional. Then, here's what's going to work for you, Daniel. That knowing, pay attention, that feeling, I've got a feeling deep inside, oh yeah, ow, right, is going to spill over into your interactions with others. Because you feel so damn good about being your truth, you know the truth isn't just music anymore, it's me. And then the interaction with anyone that was a dependency at one time, you no longer contort your little self to the box of their expectations. You break their trust, you disappoint them, and you show them that they can change as well, because they're all looking for change. Everyone wants change. But what they don't want is unfamiliar. And that is why they're afraid of you. Change. They're excited about change as long as the change looks and feels safe. But the unfamiliar, that worthiness that's embraced by you and exuded by you, that just gets their pennies in a bunch. Make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Good?
Yeah, totally. And the crazy thing is like it feels so normal. Like it feels so like not like right though. It's like way more,
yeah,
like,
it's right without question. It's my natural, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And wow, yeah, like when I was before I got all aware of like what I wanted to expect people, before I got aware of like what I thought people were expecting of me, I was like being my heart, being my truth. But it was so normal that I just assumed like, oh, like the people, they still don't like me because I hate myself, essentially deep down, yet I'm expressing myself naturally. And so like this natural thing that feels so normal to me, that is this like authentic expression, it must be worthless. That's what I was thinking.
Well, that's what you were thinking because you were thinking, but that's not what you're knowing now, right?
Right.
Okay.
So yeah.
Keep on rocking.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? You good?
Well, I'm doing this weird thing. I'm gonna see if I can try to explain it. Like,
it's not weird, and if you're trying to explain it, you're trying to make me understand it the way you want to understand it, which is another reason why you guys fuck up your world. Tell me what you want to say without thinking about it.
Okay.
And if it ain't worth saying, don't say it.
And it might be worth saying. I might be able to just figure it out myself.
Don't figure it out. Just speak it. It's not weird, but you're afraid that it's weird.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See it?
Yeah.
Stop putting your own conditions on this new discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm blocking me. I'm like,
you're not blocking you, you're filtering you. You can't block you. You're always present in you. You're filtering you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're recognizing ego, so accept it and speak your truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, so say that I'm sitting in a moment and there's that instantaneous moment that I'm in, and like in that instantaneous moment where like say that like my full perception is in that moment, like that place of like my full perception being in a moment is like where I have these beliefs about what different experiences in my reality mean that are like really like non sequitur and like completely random.
Okay.
And really hard to catch that because it's almost requires me to like dive into this moment instantaneously. And so like I know I'm capable of like of noticing it and like fully accepting that so that that's not a factor. I'm wondering like do you see like any like bridges that I could
You
use?
don't need bridges because you already recognize it. See, you're trying to fucking do another process.
Uh-huh.
Stop thinking. It's not affecting you. It only affects you when you pay attention to it. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So drop the weird fucking idea and be the moment. And what you're realizing, you do not change or process. You accept.
Mm-hmm.
Have you not been here?
I've been here.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
just
then
kidding.
accept the reality of your mind telling you its own ideas of separation. You accept those into the fold of you and you become transcendent of those beliefs into a new truth, and you can't have the same harboring human emotions towards that reality. Got it?
Got it.
Booyah.
Yeah.
Jen, what's up?
It was actually a question that I had from last night's class. I know that my whole self has a lot of different perspectives, like billions of them.
Yes. It doesn't have them, it is them. There's a difference, but go ahead.
Okay, so it is those perspectives, and they're all constantly in flux, right?
Yes.
So maybe this is going too far, but meaning it's parallel lives, it's all these different aspects of me that are within another whole, or that doesn't even matter?
No, there's only one whole.
Okay, right. Yeah, no, I'm imaging
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I just needed that.
Okay. It works.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay.
Thank you.
How do you get over? See, Pat, you're not listening either. You don't get over lost love that still hold hope for. Those are recognition of belief systems. I have a lost love. I accept the lost love. I have hope for lost love. I accept my hope for lost love. And in the moment, be yourself. And every time it comes up, you accept, and take action of passion and find a new love by not trying to find a new love. Being open to an idea of change. You don't get over it. That's so human, Patrick. You be it. This is the pain that you guys want to run away from. I have hope for this lost love. Those persons don't define you. They don't have a secret ingredient to give you happiness. Who the fuck on this planet wants happiness? Oh, I know. Forgotten gods do. Remember, gods aren't interested in happiness because there is no perceived happiness. There's isness creating happiness, and you guys want to be isness in the perception of the fractal. You're that by default. So don't do the idea, Patrick, of how do I get over that, because it's a nostalgic memory. That itself is a polarity-based reality of a coveting system that you harbored guilt and unworthiness and dependencies and the opportunity and fucked it up and betrayal, and you mixed it all up in this big shaker and said, look at the image I created. I'm a fucking hot mess. And you have another way to exist. Ta-da. And then you come to class and say, how do I get over that? Well, Patrick, you need to start paying attention. You don't get over things, you accept things. You become whole about them by being them, by enduring them, by embracing them. And whoever this person is, they were not there before you met them. You created them in the now as an experience, but you hold on to them now in time as a need. That's all human. So accept it, get on, and take an opportunity. When someone comes along, go fall in love, for fuck's sakes. But you got to fall in love with you first.
Can I just make a comment to Svetlana very quickly? Svetlana, you haven't been here for 2 years. I used to get fucking slammed by Sly, by Osifius, by everyone. So, babe, even if they were to yell at me, I wouldn't understand it as being yelling. But that was a very toddler comment.
This isn't yelling.
It wasn't for you. It was for the entity being channeled.
We're not yelling.
I just asked, why does everybody get yelled at when they ask a question, except when it's Jen?
I think that's your perception.
Okay.
Okay. But I don't see it that way.
I mean, I got yelled at quite a bit too.
Yes.
And this conversation feels like deja vu to me right now.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Because you guys are actually in a memory right now. You all know that.
So Svetlana, I was you. There were so many freaking times that I got yelled at for stupidity, whatever I was not seeing or being, accepting. So many times.
I think Shagufta, what she's saying is she's not getting yelled at anymore because she doesn't relate to the ideas of the lackful questions that need a penetrating idea to get your attention. Because if you look at reality, right? Now, just go on Facebook and go to ideas. Go to speakers, motivator speakers, and different channels. All positive. All of it. No one gets yelled at. Because that would be obtuse. The yelling is not yelling, it's penetrating. It's getting your attention so you can see it's you that's perceiving that. One day you don't get yelled at, but you like getting yelled at. That's why you ask silly questions sometimes when you're with Roxy, so you can have a fight. So you can know your way like that. Roxy plays with you because she knows it doesn't matter. It's just another moment. That's all. So Shagufta doesn't get yelled at because Shagufta is knowing her worthiness and doesn't do the things that give her the depleting idea of unworthy, and they go and take that unworthiness and ask, hey, Roxy, why is this happening to me again? And Roxy goes, oh, for fuck's sakes, because it's you. That kind of idea. But for you, that's your perception and that's your truth. So you may be it. Again, we're all subjective. We all our own truth. And if it hurts you, well, that's exposure. If it gives you offerings of camaraderie and groupings, comfort in numbers, then that's an offer. It's an offer to be a particular now, to give you a particular another part of the now forever, creating you as is. Truly. Anything else?
But it's also, I just wanted to say this, it's also what my perception of it, Svetlana, when I was getting yelled at was, my ego was so freaking strong and standardized, glued in, that yelling kind of shocked me into seeing it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like there's moments when you're just going about your nows, you're doing something, you can't see what you're doing. And I know that every time the Sly, you think that Roxy and I talk like this all the time? We scream at each other to the point where we're like, I'm not kidding. We yell because sometimes the ego needs that. And it's not yelling anymore because it doesn't hurt anymore. It's a seeing of something that has a different vibration. So that's just my perception of it. I think it's interesting to see it that way. That's a real gift you just saw for yourself.
Well, yes, because it's actually true. One thing that you said, it's for yourself. And when you start to take command of that, all of you, that your idea expression is not for another. It is for yourself. They're going to interpret the vibration any way they can. You can't influence that. What you do is offer different vibrations that offer different choices. So in other words, if you're the same version to your mother or dad, then they don't have another choice to do in the idea, listen now, the idea of making a different choice about their relationship with you unless they are waking up and all of a sudden they don't confide in you as the same version and they surprise you. Well, the surprised you is because they've changed and now they're offering you change, or you've changed and you're offering them change. It really doesn't matter who did what because that's just human. It's a moment. It's all encompassing. There's no I. There's always we. The I's are experiencing the we's. So, anyways, anything else? All right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Can I express something?
Yes, timid. I'll call you Bambi. Go ahead.
So I wanted to express that, like, I still find myself, like, wanting, like, to feel good and happy and, like free and, like, that kind of idea. And so, I realize that that's a covet now. Like,
Yes.
like
Very
a
good.
covet, foreseeing that in the vibration of coveting it as an image.
You're recognizing a part of you that's no longer your truth. It's a changeable truth. It's a standard truth, but it's also a transcendent truth. It can be, right?
Yeah, so I
Very good.
have the option of approaching it from, like, well,
Perfect.
I'm vibrating in the now, and that's my vibration, and that's in that whole perspective, versus like validating it and
Going after it.
yeah, driving for
Right.
it.
Trying to go and make yourself happy by doing things that make yourself happy, entertaining yourself,
Yeah,
exploring yourself. Well, that's excellent recognition. So now you see
yeah,
that part, and now you can choose different, like do absolutely nothing, right?
yeah. What I've been doing, there's like a lot of meaninglessness that's like that comes with like around like, objectified things, which is like the habits undoing, right?
Bingo.
Yeah,
Excellent work, Drew.
cool beans.
Very good. All right. Anyone else? They're dropping like flies. All right, Roxy, come on back. Bye, guys.